Dream Animals, A Bedtime Journey by Emily Winfield Martin. There are animals from long ago and twice as far away. Their maps are made of starlight and can't be seen by day. These creatures are the reason dreamers get where dreamers go. Dreamland is too far to run and sleepy feet too slow. You only have to close your eyes, and when you snuggle in, you'll be carried to your dream tonight on wing or paw or fin. Perhaps a bear will carry you to meet peculiar friends who set their misfit table for a feast that never ends. Or will you hold on tightly as a red fox leaps and bounds toward an elfin hollow hidden underground? Will robins race to fly you somewhere high above the trees? Or will a narwhal dive with you beneath the seven seas? Will a tiger take you to a wonder of a show? With daring feats up overhead and wild beasts below? Or will you sail on moth wings to the edge of the blue, to find the very moon and stars are waiting just for you? Whatever dream you visit when night replaces day, your furred or finned or feathered friend will surely know the way. Sweet dreams. Hello and welcome back. Tonight we tell the story of a baby bunny and his papa, and just how much they love each other. Let's Read Bedtime Stories presents Guess How Much I Love You, written by Sam McBratney and illustrated by Anita Jerem. Little Nut Brown Hare, who was going to bed, held on tight to Big Nut Brown Hare's very long ears. He wanted to be sure that Big Nut Brown Hare was listening. "Guess how much I love you," he said. "Oh, I don't think I could guess that," said Big Nut Brown Hare. "This much," said Little Nut Brown Hare, stretching out his arms as wide as they could go. Big Nut Brown Hare had even longer arms. "But I love you this much," he said. That is a lot," thought Little Nut Brown Hare. "I love you as high as I can reach," said Little Nut Brown Hare. "I love you as high as I can reach," said Big Nut Brown Hare. "That is very high," thought Little Nut Brown Hare. "I wish I had arms like that." Then Little Nut Brown Hare had a good idea. He tumbled upside down and reached up the tree trunk with his feet. "I love you all the way up to my toes," he said. "And I love you all the way up to your toes," said Big Nut Brown Hare, swinging him up over his head. "I love you as high as I can hop," laughed Little Nut Brown Hare, bouncing up and down. "But I love you as high as I can hop," smiled Big Nut Brown Hare, and he hopped so high that his ears touched the branches above. "That's good hopping," thought Little Nut Brown Hare. "Oh, I wish I could hop like that." I love you all the way down the lane as far as the river, cried Little Nut Brown Hare. I love you across the river and over the hills, said Big Nut Brown Hare. Oh, that's very far, thought Little Nut Brown Hare. He was almost too sleepy to think any more. Then he looked beyond the thorn bushes, out into the big dark night. Nothing could be farther than the sky. I love you right up to the moon, he said, and closed his eyes. Oh, that's far, said Big Nut Brown Hare. That is very, very far. Big Nut Brown Hare settled Little Nut Brown Hare into his bed of leaves. He leaned over and kissed him good night. Then he lay down close by and whispered with a smile, I love you right up to the moon and back. Hello and welcome, friends. Tonight, Let's Read Bedtime Stories presents a classic, Goodnight Moon, written by Margaret Wise Brown and illustrated by Clement Hurd. In the great green room, there was a telephone and a red balloon and a picture of the cow jumping over the moon, and there were 3 little bears sitting on chairs, and 2 little kittens, and a pair of mittens, and a little toy house, and a young mouse, and a comb, and a brush, and a bowl full of mush, and a quiet old lady who was whispering, hush. Good night, room. Good night, moon. Good night, cow jumping over the moon. Good night, light and the red balloon. Good night, bears. Good night, chairs. Good night, kittens. And good night, mittens. Good night, clocks. And good night, socks. Good night, little house. And good night, mouse. Good night, comb. And good night, brush. Good night, nobody. Good night, mush. And good night to the old lady whispering, hush. Good night, stars. Good night, air. Good night, noises everywhere. Well, that's the end of our story. And with that, I say good night. And as always, remember, you are amazing and you are loved. Sweet dreams.